this is a great place to work, I think, as far as benefits and those sorts of things. I mean, when I share information with my family, they're just in awe of all the flexibilities that I have access to.
The union will, solidify a lot of the good things that are in place about GAO right now.
I'm a Band 1, and I'm also a new parent, and I'm the sole income earner for my family. So the union, for me, is a way to protect the benefits and the wonderful job that I've had.
Having someone a buddy to kind of stick up for you, just to have an extra voice in there, not just your own, so that you feel like you're not alone.
There was a point of time where I was doing well from my personal perspective, but I had personal problems that does impact upon performance, because at that point of time I had to focus on that, or that meant that a family member would have been in jeopardy, and I feel that if a union was in place, that I would have had the necessary support that was needed to make management realize that, hey, this is what's happening with him, and let's give some consideration.
I know the union is looking out for the best interest of all of us, not just, the folks in one division or the folks in one field office or in headquarters. And the idea is to not pit each other against each other, and rather to advocate for everyone.
Any concerns that you have, you're not going to have negative repercussions for that.
I never thought I would see the day that I would be supporting a union effort at the GAO.
A lot of times the common conception of a union is that it's going to create a more contentious relationship between employees and management.
There's the idea that somehow unions will threaten what is currently a pretty good working relationship between an individual and the manager, somehow adding a level of formality or hierarchy to it. And it's my experience, it's pretty much the exact opposite. I mean, my bosses, they're pretty enlightened people anyway, but they have to deal with me as an equal on the most important issues facing the Institute.
Why have a union? I think if you are interested in having some input, some real input into what you do, how you do it, and under what terms and conditions, then you need a labor organization.
We look much more like a professional organization. The union has been instrumental in carving out career ladders for people like me. I have a PhD in economics, and I can actually see myself staying at EPI for the next 5 or 10 years without seeing me steadily fall behind everyone I graduated from graduate school with. So sort of the professionalization of EPI, I think the union has been really instrumental.
There seems to be a lot of concern that the union's going to end up taking things away from what the rights that the employees now have. And I think I would try to reassure the people that are thinking about whether or not to vote for the union that the union is just them. The union, I can talk about what the union is at CRS. We're our own culture. The union at GAO will be different, because the union will reflect what people at GAO needs and the kind of people that work at GAO.
I'm not concerned that another entity is going to come in and direct us, but rather we are going to have a little bit more ability than we currently have to express our views, to select people who will represent our views.
I know that a union has more legal standing, has more of an ability to be an advocate as opposed to an advisory committee.
Even if you're going to be here a short time, or if you are planning on, making more of a career at GAO, I think the union offers a really important opportunity, and that is to have a voice now.
The thing that this union will do for us more than anything is ensure equal opportunity and fairness in terms of our access to things like on-the-job training and a truly transparent, defensible performance management system and rating system.
A challenge in the review of performance here is that some people are seen as in more leadership positions. Some people are seen as in perhaps backseat positions.
We've always hired high-quality staff. I think the issue we're facing is how do we keep them, and how do we have them bring all their expertise, their power, their engagement, their brilliant minds into the workplace. And you do that by letting people have a voice.
I think something that a union offers us is the ability for all of these people with all of these backgrounds to be able to have a place at the table in order to make sure that the interests of the organization overall also reflect the interests of these varied individuals.
Employees have been barred from circulating their own surveys to produce data that would be used to inform management.
GAO analysts are probably uniquely qualified to be involved in that. In particular, the team I work on works on employment issues and workforce issues, and I think we're keenly aware of some of the issues that are at stake.
Why do we not have an opportunity to see the data, to look at the data, to partnership with management to use that information to come up with the best conclusions that would move the GAO ahead?
It makes a lot of sense for an agency with accountability in its name to create a situation where management is really accountable to its employees.
I want to see GAO the best. I want to see it to be a model organization, and to me that means all the employees are able to be involved in running the organization.
It's not just about yourself. It's not just about your buddy over in the next cubicle. It's about everyone.
On September 19th, I'm going to vote in the union election, and I'm going to vote yes.
I'm going to vote yes to the union.
And I will vote yes.
I plan to vote yes.
Say go to the polls and vote. Let us know whether or not you want a union, because in the end, your vote does count here.
Hopefully we'll all be rejoicing in a win that we can celebrate together, and then move forward on trying to make the organization the real model agency we know it can be, and we won't be just number 5 on the list or number 2 on the list, but really be the number 1 agency in all of government, and for everyone to really believe that. That's the thing, is we'll really believe that we are number 1, and to be number 1, and to know that we got there with the help of all of us working through the union. That would be a real milestone.